Hey guys, what's going on everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, and ladies and gents, if you do not know, well now you know. LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2 was just announced this past week, and I went ahead and compiled the top 5 elements, or the top 5 things that I would like to see changed or added into LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2 to make it a much better game. Not just for myself personally, I think it would just make the game better no matter whom you ask. So with that in mind, before we get rock and rolling with this, of course, just a few days ago, I think 2 or 3 days ago total, I uploaded a video that asked you guys, hey, what do you want to see and what kind of ideas would you like to see implemented? Now, a lot of people got very specific, even though I said specifically in the video, do not do that. However, you know how it is. It's the internet. You say one thing, they do exactly the opposite. Nevertheless, though, a lot of people came up with some pretty awesome ideas, and in fact, there was a lot of overlap with my own ideas. I was actually shocked that we had so many similar ideas, but the nice thing is that I guess that's a good sign that our lists will be quite similar to one another, meaning that the things that I would want to see, many other people want to see, and therefore it is things that need to be added into the game. So let me just give a few honorable mentions to some folks that came up with some lovely stuff, but unfortunately, I don't know whether or not it would be added, how realistic it is that it would be added, and more importantly than that, I'm just not sure if some of these are big enough ideas to discuss in this type of a video. Now, with that in mind, let's begin with Spider-Man 960, who commented that he would love to see an underwater hub world. I agree with that. It would be super duper cool because previously, anytime that we received a hub world, yes, we had some lakes and little areas that you could either swim on top of or you could dive, but they were quite shallow. It would be quite awesome if in one of the hub worlds you could, let's say, dive underwater and meet up with Namor and meet up with any of the other underwater characters that you would expect to see down there. So I would love to see that. I think that is a great idea, and I think that it is something that actually might be possible. From there, we move on to the suggestion by Silver Cyclops, who placed the idea of intricate time shift puzzles, or as he quoted them, to be similar to kind of Ocarina of Time puzzles. So essentially, it would be something like, let's say you would take a mission where you would use Old Man Logan to complete a certain mission, and at the end of the mission, you're time traveling to a younger Logan who would then receive some sort of an item that older Logan actually begins with at the beginning of that mission. Yes, that sounds intricate, and yes, that sounds confusing, but I think it is a lovely idea. However, just to be honest, I do not see those types of intricacies being added into a LEGO game yet. Now, notice how I say yet, because I think there's a lot of other things that need to kind of catch up with the times and be upgraded before we get these very complex puzzle elements added into the game. Would it be possible? Yes. Do I think it would be incredible if it was added? Yes, because I would love to see more complexity added to the puzzling elements of any and all LEGO games. So overall, lovely idea again. From there, we move on to Sobidobi72dar. I hope I actually pronounced that correctly. But he or she suggested a piece-by-piece character collecting, which I think is a lovely idea. I think you also brought up the kind of obvious problem with that idea, which would be, hey, if you have 300 plus characters, it would be a nightmare having to find, let's say, a leg here, another leg here, the torso over here, then you find a headpiece, then you find a helmet, and so on and so forth. I think that it's a great idea for some missions, which is what you said yourself, so I'd love to see that happen. But to me personally, I honestly would rather this was something maybe they would add in the future, because again, I think there are more important things that I would love to see added than something like this. But overall, really, really nice idea as well. And then last but certainly not least, the one thing that I really, really think would be cool if it was added as well, but again, I doubt it happens ever. And if it does, it would be quite a while from now. And that is a machinima mode, which was suggested by Sci-Fi Pie. Now, again, I picked kind of the top liked comment for some of these ideas. There might have been other people that suggested some of these, but Sci-Fi Pie suggested the idea of a machinima mode, which essentially would allow you to create stop motions in that world. Not really stop motions, I guess, just animations with the character. So maybe like you could remove the HUD and then have a bit more control over the character's body, so you could kind of like animate them. I think that is an amazing idea, especially with how popular the LEGO stop motion scene is on places like YouTube and such. I think it would be very successful as well. And In fact, I think it's a good enough idea to just be its own game. Like they could just make a Lego some sort of animating studio or something like that. And I think that would do incredibly well, and it would be a hugely successful software or video game, if you want to call it that. So with that in mind, those were the honorable mentions. I hope that you guys agree with me. If you do not, that is perfectly fine. You can leave your complete despise for me choosing these specific comments or whatever you think down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy those ideas though, let me know which of the honorable mentions was your favorite. And with that being said, let's move right along to the top 5 elements that I would love to see added into LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. So let's begin with number 5, which is going to be the combos upgrade. So if you recall, in LEGO Marvel Avengers, we got the new feature of combos, and those combos were able to be nailed when you would team up kind of characters. So you had those type of combos. So like, let's say you could have Hawkeye and Black Widow team up into this really cool special move, or the characters themselves have a little combo move based on once they have a certain number of multipliers and they could go on ahead and hit that maneuver. Well, I think those are great. I just would love to see more of them and more of them be unique to each character. So when you look at some of the combos, like let's say most big figs kind of have the exact same combos, and that's a bit of a bummer. I would love to see something unique to the Hulk. So like when you go for that combo, it would be something that would be specific to the Hulk, and then Red Hulk could have his own version of a combo, and then Abomination would have his own version, and so on and so forth. I think that that's something that is viable because it would just have to be tweaked furthermore, and you could reuse some of the previous combos for certain characters. You just would need to create new combos for the other characters that were reusing the previous ones. Hopefully that made sense. And with that in mind, let's move on to number 4, which will be the Red Brick Rehaul or Overhaul, whatever you want to call it. So to me personally, I think the best Red Brick collection of items was in Lego City Undercover. It was the most varied. It was the most exciting. It was the most different. Yes, it had the typical stuff of, you know, we have our typical elements such as, hey, you can have your stud multiplier or you can attract studs and so on and so forth. Those are great, and I think that they work, and they are kind of the classic foundation of the red bricks in any Lego game, but I really want them to get creative with them, because if you don't know, essentially the red bricks are kind of like little cheat codes. As you play the game, you get to unlock them, and as you get further and further, you unlock more and more of them, and you can purchase them, and they basically give you some cool new things to interact with, some new abilities. They allow you to, for example, collect studs quicker, and so on and so forth. Well, to me, Lego City Undercover did that so well to where they were able to go on ahead and execute the giant figure. So like you could make your minifigure huge, like massive, bigger than any big fig that we've gotten before. That's a really cool power. You had way more costumes that you could put on your characters. You had like different types of horn sounds that you could have for the vehicles that you drive. It was that intricate. So that's what I would love to see. I think it'd be cool if they adapted some Easter eggs into this. Like there could be a red power brick that turns on, let's say, Deadpool as a commentator over the entire game. So as you're walking and you're punching, or let's say you run into something, Deadpool would make fun of you or deliver a few quips. I think that would be really cool. There was so much creative stuff you could do with the Marvel Universe. You could have Stan Lee commentating over stuff if you want. You could have Stan Lee maybe appear and like do something funny, or turn every character in the game into Stan Lee. Or you could go on ahead and have the Watchers appear. You could have Baby Groot dancing on the streets. Just all these tiny little things that would be really, really lovely additions. I would love to see executed in red brick form. Let's move on to the third of the elements that we are going to be discussing today, and that is the variation in side quests. I really love the evolution that we have seen for side quests, and what I mean by side quests is the missions that we complete within the hub world. So not the missions that you do while you're in the single player mode and you're doing the story missions. I'm talking about the missions that you do out in the wild. I would love if they looked at Lego City Undercover again, or, you know, open world games, other open world games like GTA and such. Yes, of course, GTA has violent missions, and I understand that they can't do that stuff because it has to be family friendly. So I got that. I'm not like crazy, like, oh, hey, let's do something with shooting or whatever. It's okay. I understand that. But what I would love to see is more variations to those side quests. I'd like to see more variation in the sense of, hey, don't just do fight this little group or deliver this person from point A to point B. Maybe add some more intricacies between those missions and make them more exciting. In fact, I think a really cool way to make them more exciting would be to add another currency. So you could have your studs, and then similarly to, again, something like Lego City Undercover, where they had super bricks, you could add, I don't know, maybe like Marvel coins or something like that, or Marvel something, whatever you want to call them, or like Watcher coins or Deadpool coins, whatever you want to call them. But I think it would be really cool if once you add that currency, that is the currency that, let's say, you earn by doing side quests. And as you're completing these side quests, you use this currency to, let's say, rebuild a certain famous building in a hub world, or you use that currency to unlock a specific character. I think doing that will make the side quests feel a lot more rewarding. If you're able to, let's say, have us not only complete the side quest, but by completing it, we earn a little bit of currency or a lot of currency, depending on how difficult the mission was. And then based on that, I can now go to, let's say, Rid Richard's store or something like that, and I can buy an upgraded form of my vehicle, or I can in some way, shape, or form upgrade an existing character. Because that's the one thing I think they need to build on, is the whole idea of Legos. They need to be able to make them more customizable, more personalized, I guess, because when you buy Legos, most of the time, yes, you build the set, or at least I build the set, but then I still always end up adding to it, changing it up, making it my own. So if I bought a Batmobile, it's never going to look exactly like that Batmobile that is in the picture and the instructions. I'll build it, but then I guarantee you that I will rebuild it and you will never see it look the exact same way. It will always have something unique to me. And I think that that's the case for many Lego fans. And with that in mind, that actually transitions very nicely into our second most important element that I would love to see added into the game, and that is a better customization system. There were a lot of people that agreed with me on this one. Wolf Claw, PS4 Gamer, there were a bunch of people, I couldn't write everybody down, but these were some of the top hits, who said they would love to see a better customization system. This is something that I've been touting for a while now. I was hoping that that's going to be kind of rehauled in Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens. That was not the case, and this is the next big game that we're getting after that. It is about time that we had the ability to really go intricately into the personalization of these customs. It'd be really cool if we could change the colors of the torso whenever we want. Not just like, hey, these are the torsos that you have to choose from, and that's it. It'd be cool if I could take Deadpool's torso and recolor it blue or green or white or whatever it is. Then I'd love to be able to take the swords and recolor them. Choose how many swords my character will have. Maybe a sword and a blaster. Whatever it is, the combination of items that I want to have, I should be able to have. I mean, after all, again, going back to the idea of this being Legos, they should be very customizable. When I buy 2 Lego minifigures, I can take off the torsos and rearrange them whatever way I want, and so on and so forth. So that's what I think we would love to see. It would be awesome if the customization system, this is honestly, to me, the second most important thing that I would love to see readjusted, is just give us a better customization system. I'm not the only one that has a bunch of fun with that system. I know a lot of people use it. Just based on that last video that I made, so many people said, please, please, please give us a better customization system. So I think there's a pretty good demand out there for this system to be overhauled. So I am super duper hopeful and have my fingers crossed that we have a better custom system. Now, with that in mind, we now go to number 1, the most important thing that I would love to see added, and that is online co-op or multiplayer. Ideally, let's start with co-op, because look, you look at Lego Worlds, they have it. It's in there. We have online co-op. So we know they can do it. We know that there's not some sort of like technological know-how or anything like that they can't get around. I'm not sure what the specific reason as to why they don't do it. I think it has to do with maybe like Lego not agreeing to do it or something like that. I'm not sure though. Like, I'm not sure what the logical reason behind it, because I think there have been a couple of Lego games in history that have done it. I think it was Lego Star Wars, the Complete Saga or something like that did actually have online co-op on the Xbox 360, I think. So that's, again, point in case that they can do it. I would love to see that happen. Of course, ideally, it'd be really cool if they actually had online multiplayer. So like you could do some sort of missions specifically together, compete in little mini games, do that new battle arena mode that they have. It'd be really cool. But you know what? I honestly would just settle for simply having the ability to play online co-op. Just being able to, hit up Gamer and be like, hey dude, let's play through this mission, or hey, let's do some side quests over here. That would be really quite a bit of fun to do. So with that in mind, now is the time to hear your voices. So let me know down in the comment section below, what of these things do you want to see? Is it all of them? Is it one of them? Is it none of them? Please let me know down in the comments section below. Of course, do not forget, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, I hope that you guys will smack that like button, letting me know that you want to see more of these in the future. I'm going to be working on a couple of different things as far as LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2 is concerned, but there are plenty of videos already on the channel covering that game, such as discussing the characters that we know so far, discussing the story that we know about Kang the Conqueror, discussing the teaser trailer that we saw. Of course, I'll be doing a reaction video to the full trailer on May 23rd. And additionally to all of that, as if all this wasn't enough, I made my own dream wish list of characters that I would like to see in LEGO Marvel Super Heroes 2. You can see all of those on the YouTube channel. I will try to link them in the description box below as well, so that you have easy access to them. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I'll catch you guys all next time. Peace out. I'll see you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.